Dennis Kelly is the author of the official Identity Theft Prevention Handbook. He's also chairman of the Identity Ambassador Commission. That's a private group that certifies identity theft prevention experts. Dennis, welcome to Nightly Business Report.
Tom, thanks for having me.
Is there no amount of money, no protection that can guarantee the security of customer information online?
There's nothing that can absolutely guarantee that your information will not be stolen. With the way that the identity theft criminals work today, and data criminals as well, you cannot absolutely guarantee that your information will not be stolen.
Now, we saw the executives from Sony and the email marketing firm Epsilon today endorse the idea of federal legislation in regards to security breach protocol. What are companies expected to do now?
Right now, it's just a quilt of different laws and legislation and policies that are guiding them. So that's why we get into a situation where companies are actually begging for legislation to regulate them.
Is it possible that federal regulation could cover all different types of security breaches?
It's probably going to be impossible to cover all different types of security breaches, but what they can do is provide a framework such that it gives them an option to change things based on the situation.
These security breaches are nothing new. You know this. Just a couple of years ago, a handful of retailers saw millions of credit card numbers stolen, TJ Maxx, Office Max among them. What kind of precedent does industry have and how it's responded to these issues?
Well, what's happening right now is a lot of these retailers or the breached companies are hiding because they're not sure what to do. And what we're trying to do is change those things through legislation and give them the confidence, if they act responsibly, that they're going to alert the consumers in a timely fashion.
Let's talk about the cost of these breaches to the companies, because data has shown the cost per stolen record has risen, and risen considerably. It was around $180 per stolen record just back in 2006. Last year, over $210 per stolen record. Where's the biggest liabilities for companies?
The biggest liabilities, actually, this is surprising to many people, are actually the indirect cost. 2-to-1 indirect versus direct cost, which would be the loss in their reputation and their branding.
And now, from the consumer standpoint, clearly a lot is at risk. Your own personal identity, financial information. You brought along some ideas for folks to best protect themselves, beginning with the idea that they should set up automatic fraud alerts. How do these work?
Well, the way that works is you call up one of the credit bureaus, and that'll put a fraud alert on your credit file, and that bureau is required to call the other two credit bureaus to put a fraud alert. What that does is, if you're extending new credit, they must validate that you are who you say you are, which should be part of the process anyway.
Sure. And this is automatic. You also say don't answer uninitiated emails. These are those so-called phishing expeditions, the PH phishing, right?
Yes, exactly. And that's very important, especially with like the Epsilon breach. Very popular way to steal identities nowadays is through this social engineering. They know that you bank at Bank of America, so they're going to represent themselves as though they're a representative from Bank of America.
But even if it's a legit email, that it's a marketing email, you're saying don't answer it.
Never answer it. There's nothing to gain and everything to lose.
And finally, you say make your personal data personal. Well, we're in the age of social networking and sharing everything here.
Well, that's the interesting thing. If you're standing in line at the grocery store, you don't go run up to somebody and tell them your birthday. Well, why are you going to do that online?
Yeah. But more than that, even just keep vacation plans and personal travel plans offline, too.
Absolutely. And even for personal security, why would you let criminals know that you're not going to be at your own home?
All right. Well, the financial cost for corporations, financial cost for consumers. Dennis, we appreciate the ideas. Dennis Kelly is our guest here, is the author of the official Identity Theft